You know, we're putting this together. You know, players that we lost last year, can't re-sign them. It's not the pros. They graduate. And we got a lot of newcomers, and we got to build them in for the infrastructure. So it's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a lot of patience. A lot of this is going to be on-the-job training, but we got to build up confidence. You know, it's day to day, and we got to keep improving a lot of little things. You know, you lose a guy like Harold Washington, and then there's the experience we had last year. It was a lot of experience we had, and they all graduated. So, you know, now you need newcomers to come up, step in. You know, Valenti having 10 rebounds was huge, huge. We're going to need him to do that, as well as you know, other guys rebound the ball. But you know, it's going to be you know, every team, I think it's going to be a dogfight. You know, we got to work to get better. We got to work to improve. We got to work to build chemistry to fit these guys in. They're going to need game experience. You know what I mean? You know, Dominic Rainey, I mean, he didn't play last year, so he's a newcomer. Chris Perez, he's a kid that transferred, so we're trying to fit him into the system. But then you got all the other young kids to go with. And I've only had these guys, I mean, the guys that returned, I mean, I've only had them, this is my second year. So I got to let them breathe a little bit. I got to let them grow a little bit. I got to be patient. You know, some of you guys write like it's, you know, I mean, I don't know where you get it from. You know, we're all excited. My players are real excited because of what they did last year, but this is a different year. And we got to try to build on it. I mean, it would be nice to have back-to-back winning seasons, which is first time in how many years?
From what? Since Coach Brewer.
20 years? Something 20, maybe 18. 2 back-to-back winning seasons. So let's you know, and we're bringing in kids to fit into the culture of Canisius College. Kids that are going to go to class, kids that are going to do the right thing, kids that are going to graduate, and, you know, it's a little calculated. So we have to just take it one game at a time, and we probably have, this is probably one of the toughest schedules that I've ever encountered as a coach. To all of a sudden now to be playing at Bonaventure, playing at, you know, Buffalo, even though it's a neutral site, we're playing on the road. Preseason NIT that's no picnic. But it's a great opportunity, and I think the kids are really excited to be playing in it, and so am I. So it's a great opportunity to go through some growing pains, but just like I said, this isn't a sprint, this is a marathon. And we're using, you know, November to get us ready for December to get us ready for January and February, and then you got the league playoffs. So, you know, it's going to be step by step. But I thought the second half we did a much better job on the defensive end. We did a much better job of rebounding the basketball. We stepped up, and down the stretch we made our free throws.
Seemed like in the second half too, Coach, some of those hand check fouls and things in your own defensive end went away. Is that something you talked to the team about?
Yeah, we told them to play smart without fouling. You know, because you know, this team was one of the top teams in the country last year. I think they were #1 free throw shooting. So we said that they were good, you know, they can really shoot free throws. But they're good. I mean, the big guy's first team all-league. He's very difficult to handle. And then their guards got good quickness. They got experience, you know, because, you know, they played last year, last couple of years. They got upperclassmen. And, you know, we gotta learn. You know, we gotta learn. So it's a, you know, it's a learning experience.
How do you think your big man did, both on the boards, specifically Jordan against him?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to be active, and you know, I think his offensive rebounding was something that was really, really important for us, because he has to do that with that big body. We also tried to get it inside to him, and then he's a big target to not only kick it in, but kick it out. He made some great passes, you know, and he had a couple of assists. So, you know, we're going to need that. You know, teams are going to play us different ways, you know. No, it's, you know, I mean, for us, every win's going to be a good win. But, you know, we're going to have growing pains. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's going to happen. Because we you know, we did what we did almost like last year. We had a very challenging schedule early on, but I thought we really learned a lot from those games. I mean, we probably have one of the best schedules around. You know, when you look at the preseason NIT, and then, you know, you have Notre Dame, you have at Bonaventure, you have, you know, I mean, we got some real challenging games.
You talked about building your players up, that it's a process. Dominic struggled today.
Yeah.
All around. How do you build a player like them up?
Well, you just got to keep working with them, you know, work with them and keep moving forward. And, you know, that's what I said. I mean, he didn't play at all last year. We redshirted him. And that was to grow and to develop, and he was a junior college kid. And so you got to keep working with him, you know, got to keep working. It's fragile. It's fragile, you know, and we got to get other guys to continue to step up. But, you know, the scoring is going to be by committee. It ain't going to be one individual, even though Billy had a good game today. But we're going to need a bunch of guys to step up.
Coach, how about the three that Billy hit? You know, what was, you know, he took that three guarded by somebody, but what was the plan on that play?
Well, the plan was we switched it up and, you know, went a little bit man-to-man offense. I don't care what they were in, and I just knew that he was going to, you know, find his spot. And we're going to have to do stuff like that sometimes to take them out of rhythm so that we can find some rhythm. And Billy's a guy that, you know, I want him to be aggressive like that, and he knows it. So, you know, he made a big play, and then we made our free throws down the stretch. Perez, Chris Manhertz, Billy Baron, you know, so, you know.
Last question for Coach, please.
You mentioned Phil Valenti at the outset, and he seems to provide a spark that you didn't have last year. What makes him such a good offensive?
Well, he's a high-energy guy. He's a live body, and that's how he was in high school. You know, he's a guy that he makes uncanny plays. He gets his hands on the ball. He forces turnovers. Very active. You know, you look at it, he's got 4 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. I mean, he's just a very active player, and I think those are the kind of guys that I really, you know, I love guys like that. I had a guy at Rhode Island named Delroy James, which was a tremendously high-energy guy. And Phil, you know, we need, especially coming off the bench, you know, because we know we're going to get our guys in foul trouble.
Billy, what was going through your head getting tied and you had the ball in your hands?
It was going up, you know, that was what I work on. I think that's what these guys want me to do. That's what I was going to do. You know, I'm the senior, and you know, I got to take ownership. I got to take leadership. That shot misses, that's on me, but I'm fine with that. But, you know, I was just trying to get a little space. Thankfully, I did. I knocked it down.
Phil, how much do you guys, as some younger guys, learn from a guy like that?
Oh, huge. He leads the team. He tells us what to do in practice. He gets us into our offense. He's a huge contributor to the team and how we win and how we're going to play all year.
And Billy, after they came back, got 2 more. You gave the ball to Chris, and they really tried to deny you getting the ball again. Was that something that Chris said, okay, I can't give it to you, I got to take over now?
Yeah, he had I mean, he didn't play his greatest game, but he had the confidence to make a play, which is something we need. You know, we're always not going to be, you know, playing at the top of our game every single night, but to hit a shot like that at a time like that after, you know, a game he had, that was big time. You know, that shows the confidence he has in himself. You know, him being a senior with all that experience, he's ready to make those plays, and we're going to need him to make those plays.
This game's kind of had like a similar feel to last year's opener, where it was close the whole way, and you guys have a pull away at the end. Are these games with, you know, your dad's a young team that really hasn't played together a lot, are these games good to win early on in the season?
Yeah, it's good that kind of have like that pressure on you and time and score. It's extremely tight. We need stuff like that down the stretch. We're going to have to pull out a lot of games like that. I think you saw us last year. We lost a lot of games like that. And I think we did a good job of learning over the summer how to overcome that. South Dakota played a great game. They weren't rushed. You know, they got the shot they wanted most of the time, which is kind of frustrating for us. But being able to pull out a gritty game like that shows how far we've come.
Coach talked about being patient. Do you find yourself having to be patient with your younger teammates?
Yeah. But I know they're ready to make plays. I mean, Phil, first ever college game getting 10 rebounds, that's huge. I mean, he even had a no-look pass to me, and I was shocked that he threw it because I know he couldn't see me. And when he threw it, I was like, wow. I mean, that's his first game, and he's ready to make plays. He was extremely active today, and we're going to need these guys to step up more than ever. I mean, we're going to need these guys with no experience in college to be able to come in there and give us major minutes, get 10 rebounds, make that extra pass, make shots. So I think Phil stepped up, and he showed what we're going to need from these guys for the rest of the year.
Phil, how good does it feel to be able to impact the game in so many different aspects? I know you may not be looking at personal stats as much as a team win, but you contributed a lot.
I mean, yeah, that's the main thing, just getting the win. Coming off the bench is, you have to bring energy. Coach always tells me to bring energy and play defense. So that's what I really look, and obviously rebound the basketball. So it was nice to get on the boards and make some plays there and pass to Billy, and it's just nice to make plays off the bench. That's.
Phil, when you came in the game, it was a noticeable energy left. Some seemed a little flat at times, but when you got in the game, you were all over making plays. Is that just in your personality?
That's me, yeah, all over the floor. That's how I play, and I think that's what we needed at that time because we were a little flat. And then when me and Josiah came off the bench, it was more of an energy boost. And then Billy's finally got into a rhythm, and then we started to get into our offense, and then things started working from there. So.
Billy, Coach James talked about giving you a variety of looks on the ball screens. Could you sense that out there, and how is that changing your attack during the game?
I did see that a lot. I had to do a much better job attacking those screens. I did my work early. I studied them last year and how they guarded ball screens, especially with a guy like Nate Walters who they played last year. I got to do a better job attacking, and not only just for myself, but I got to set these guys up down low. But yeah, showing with all those different looks, that's something me as a senior, no matter how many looks they throw at me, I got to be able to make that counter move. And that comes from studying game film, studying what they did last year and how they're doing that. And I got to do a better job. I didn't do that last year much at all, is study the other team. So now it's got to be kind of more mental when teams throw that at you. And I'm sure they're not going to be the only one to do that this year.
Billy, it's no secret that you were disappointed with last year's result, and right away you want to make it to the championship. But I guess how determined are you personally, and how much has your determination, I guess Billy, you can touch on it too, kind of wore off on the team?
Yeah, being a senior, it's like a whole new level of urgency. It's something I really can't put in words. Once I became a senior, it was like, this is it. It is, I saw the paper, it's now or never. And we got to us seniors have to spread that urgency, because for the rest of our lives, if we don't make it this year, there's going to be regrets, and they'll never go away. And, spreading this urgency amongst them, it's tough for these guys to feel being a senior, because I can never feel it. Words doesn't do it justice. So we're going to try and, be a little more active. I think you're going to see us in games be a little active on defense, whether it's, pressing, especially when Phil's in the game, put him on the ball, put his craziness on the ball, and, force steals. And we got to speed guys up on defense, because we're really, really good in transition, and you didn't see any transition from us today. But we were still able to grind it out and get that win. So over the year, we're going to have to win in many different ways. When we play a team like Manhattan, game might be in the 40s and 50s. When we play Iona, it's going to be in the 80s and 90s. We got to find ways to win different games.
One more for you guys.
Billy, you maybe I just noticed this, but you took it to the hole a lot today. You drew a lot of fouls. You shot 11 free throws. Was that a concerted effort on your part, or is that just what the defense gave you?
No, that was an effort on my part. I did a terrible job of finishing today. I was 6 for 15, just absolutely atrocious of finishing my floaters and stuff I've been working on over the summer. But being able to get to the line and make those shots is what I'll have to do. They're not always going to fall for me, but I got to attack, especially with the new rules, not hand checking at all. They did that a lot to me last year. That's what they're going to do this year still. It's going to take teams a while to learn that. So I got to get to the hole, and I got to be a little more patient, set these guys up down low, and kick and just be a lot more assertive than I was tonight.